Hello, this is Clint Locklear from Predator Control Group. We have Wolfer Nation, the biggest trapping website online, and we do a weekly podcast called Trapping Radio that you can easily Google. And this is kind of the end of the little series I think I'm going to do on my property on locations. But it's fascinating to me when you study coyotes. It really is. Because what we as humans think doesn't always make any sense. Now, we're on the edge of this little bitty field. And this brings up a good point about understanding and spending some time looking for coyote locations. Now, this is the same little bitty field. There's the gate. There's where the coyotes are coming through. This, when you follow this down, it gets narrow. They're coming around that cornfield. They're coming up through here and they're hunting. And you would think, just by, if you quickly put in sets without looking around, that just coming over here on this edge, we've got this big post, you got a focal point, you've got all the stuff you've always read about in books, that this is the place that you'd put a set probably somewhere out in here. And I'm not saying you wouldn't catch a coyote, but you're going to miss most coyotes because you're not thinking about the coyote, you're thinking about a trap location and not a coyote location. Now, why do I say that? So I'm going to back up and I'm going to try to give you the distance of what's happening with these coyotes. Okay, I'm about, on film, that looks a little closer, that's an honest about 60 feet from me to the edge where it's grown up, where the other guy grows Bermuda grass sod farm. You've got the big post, that's like a corner edge. Now, you would think that the coyotes would come on this fence line, hunt this little field on the edge and stuff, and then go up that way. So that's where your trap should go, somewhere over in here. But this is what's happening, and there's coyote hair in the fence to prove it, and there's a couple of ways I can deduct what I'm getting ready to tell you. The coyotes don't go to that corner because it's really thick, and there's absolutely no trails in that, none whatsoever. But what they're doing, 60 feet away from it, if I can get this where you can see it, they're cutting up right through there and they're going on an angle actually out to that post right on the other side is where they're cutting across to that other field. So there again, if you were looking at this without looking around and you set a trap somewhere in that corner, you're going to be 30-40 feet off location. That's why you got to think a little bit. So they're coming directly from where I'm standing, and they're going right over there, and they're cutting across that other field, and you would automatically assume that over there. Now, why don't no coyotes are coming through here? I ran a small piece of barbed wire back during the summer that was just temporary to see if this is the trail that they were using, and it was. That barbed wire's 2.5 foot tall, so they can walk under there and not leave any hair. I ran just a small piece from post to post, and sure enough, it had hair in it all summer long. And this little trail does not connect with anything in that tree line over there. So it's not something that's coming off from the river and coming this way. It's something that's coming down this way, and then it's veering off because it's just easier for him to do, head over that post and go hunting in all those other fields over there. So where's the location here? There's the trail. Right in here somewhere is where I would put the trap. Not over there, 60 feet away, not in the other corner that's on the inside that's way off location. It's right here. Now, I'm not going to put a trap here. I'm just going to hang a snare there. But if you didn't have the fence and you couldn't snare, that's where the trap goes. And you go through deduction. Think of like being kind of like Sherlock Holmes. You got to work these things out. Once you figure out the puzzle, things start getting a lot easier. Once you start seeing this over and over again, your brain starts computing in a certain way, and it just gets much simpler. That's why when you go someone that traps a lot, they pull a lot of stuff out of their butt that doesn't make sense to a beginning trapper because they have the experience to know to look for such things. So good luck out there, guys.